Friends, have you ever stopped to consider that some of the objects we welcome into our lives might actually be holding us back? It might sound surprising, but the unseen energies attached to these items could be subtly shaping your destiny. Today, I want to reveal 15 specific things you should never accumulate or accept, as they could be the very obstacles hindering your progress. By the end of our time together, you'll understand the profound power our possessions can wield and how they might be impacting your life in ways you've never imagined. But that's not all, because I have a special gift for you to deepen our practice together. If you are seeking to effortlessly elevate the energy within your home, I invite you to receive my ultimate Feng Shui home checklist. It is a straightforward, room-by-room guide designed to cultivate tranquility, prosperity, and equilibrium throughout your living space. Download it now, the link is conveniently located in the comments below. Chapter 1: Why Objects Can Hold Unseen Energies. Isn't it truly remarkable how much unseen weight certain objects can carry? Many things around us, whether cherished family treasures, thoughtful gifts, or everyday items, possess a significance that goes far beyond what we perceive on the surface. Consider an object in your home right now, perhaps a time-worn ring passed down from your grandmother. It might appear beautiful and evoke sentimental feelings, but what if it also holds on to echoes of past sorrows or unresolved emotions? Objects are not simply inert things, they are like sponges, absorbing the energy of their surroundings. As the ancient wisdom of Buddhism teaches us, everything in existence is interconnected. Just as a tree draws in sunlight, objects draw in the subtle vibrations of the experiences they witness. A ring, for instance, could hold the lingering energy of stress, heartbreak, or anger from those who wore it before you. Have you ever noticed a subtle shift in your inner state after handling certain items? An old box of photographs might stir feelings of unease, or a gift that once felt joyful might now feel strangely heavy. These objects carry energy, and sometimes, that energy is not in harmony with your present life. This is where the practice of mindfulness becomes essential. By becoming aware of which objects bring forth negative energy, you can begin to declutter not only your physical space but also your inner landscape, your mind and spirit. Releasing items that no longer serve your well-being is not merely a physical act, it is a deeply spiritual one. It opens up space for new, uplifting energies to enter your life. In Buddhism, we speak of detachment, the wise practice of letting go of what no longer nourishes us. It's about recognizing and releasing the emotional baggage that clings to objects. The Buddha himself taught that by releasing attachments, even to physical possessions, we liberate ourselves from suffering and create space for new blessings and growth to blossom. Take a moment now to reflect on your own belongings. Are there things in your life that bring you more unease than joy? By consciously letting go of these items, you create a void that can be filled with healing and transformation. This process resonates deeply with the Buddhist principle of mindfulness, being keenly aware of the energy we carry and what no longer benefits us. By releasing the old, you are actively creating space for fresh opportunities, enriching relationships, and profound personal growth. As the enlightened Buddha wisely said, when you let go of what you are, you become what you might be. Embrace this transformative process of release and invite greater serenity and blessings into your life. Chapter 2: Why You Should Never Keep Photos or Objects of Those Who Have Passed. We often say that the memories of those we cherish live on in our hearts, but what if they also linger in the objects we hold on to? While photographs and mementos of loved ones who have transitioned from this life can be treasured as symbols of enduring love, they can also carry unresolved emotions and energies that might not always harmonize with our present journey. In many spiritual traditions, including our own Buddhist path, it is believed that when someone departs from this world, their energy does not always immediately dissipate. These objects can become like bridges between the physical and spiritual realms, potentially inviting unresolved energy into our personal space. For example, a piece of jewelry passed down from someone who endured great hardship might seem like a precious keepsake, but it could also carry the weight of their struggles. In Buddhist teachings, we understand that all things are interconnected, and objects absorb the energy that surrounds them. This is why we might sometimes sense a subtle shift in our emotions when we hold on to such items. The energy from the past may not always align with our current state of mind, potentially disrupting our inner peace. A dear friend once shared a story about her grandmother's ring, a cherished family heirloom, which began to bring her a sense of discomfort after her grandmother's passing. Initially, she dismissed the unease, but over time, she realized that the ring seemed to be holding on to her grandmother's unresolved pain. After performing a spiritual cleansing of the ring, the discomfort gently faded away. This poignant story illustrates just how deeply objects can retain the emotional imprints of their previous owners. So, what should we do with such objects? Discard them thoughtlessly? No, it is about approaching them with mindful respect. If these items are important for you to keep, it is crucial to spiritually cleanse them before displaying or storing them in your home. One effective method is smudging with sage, an ancient practice revered for its ability to clear negative energy. Another gentle approach is to place them under the soft glow of the moonlight to purify them. This process is not about erasing the past or disrespecting memories, but about creating space for the present and future, ensuring that the energy you carry is in harmony with your current life. Buddhist teachings gently guide us towards mindful detachment, encouraging us to acknowledge the past without allowing it to define our present. By cleansing and treating these objects with reverence, we ensure they remain symbols of love and remembrance, rather than becoming burdens. As the Buddha wisely taught, to hold on to anger is like grasping a hot coal with the intent of throwing it at someone else. You are the one who gets burned. Similarly, to hold on to unresolved past energies can burn us from within. By cleansing and honoring these objects, we liberate ourselves from their potential hold, allowing growth, peace, and spiritual harmony to flow into our lives. This delicate balance between honoring the past and living fully in the present is key to creating a life enriched by cherished memories, without being bound by them. Chapter 3: Why sharp objects should never be received as gifts. Have you ever received a knife, a razor, or any sharp object as a gift? While these items might seem like thoughtful gestures or symbols of craftsmanship, they can carry hidden spiritual implications. Sharp objects are often associated with themes of division, conflict, and even aggression. Accepting such a gift can unintentionally invite negative energy, misfortune, strained relationships, or spiritual disturbances into your life. In Buddhist philosophy, we understand that everything is imbued with energy, and sharp objects, by their very nature, symbolize severing and division. Energetically, they can cut the bonds between people, relationships, and even your own inner peace. An ancient Buddhist story tells of a young monk who received a beautifully crafted ceremonial knife as a gift. Although outwardly appealing, it brought him a subtle sense of unease and seemed to strain his relationships with his fellow monks. Seeking guidance from an elder, he learned that the knife carried the energetic imprint of aggression and division. Through a simple cleansing ritual, the monk was able to restore balance and harmony to his life. If you ever find yourself in the uncomfortable position of receiving such a gift, do not ignore any feelings of unease. In Buddhist practice, there is a simple yet effective solution: offer to exchange it for a coin. This small, symbolic gesture neutralizes the potentially negative energy attached to the object, restoring energetic balance and protecting your personal space. Remember, it's not solely about the physical gift itself, but about the subtle energy it carries. By practicing mindfulness, you can ensure that gifts, especially sharp ones, do not disrupt your inner peace or your relationships. Through rituals of cleansing and thoughtful exchange, you can safeguard your energy and cultivate harmony in your life. The profound teachings of Buddhism remind us that material attachments can lead to suffering, but understanding the subtle energies that objects carry allows us to live with greater mindfulness and balance. Chapter 4: Shoes, a symbol of your life's journey. When we consider shoes, we often think of them as a mere practical necessity, something we slip on each day without much deeper thought. However, shoes, in their essence, are far more than just protectors for our feet. In many ways, they serve as a potent symbol of the unique journey we walk through life. Every mark, every scuff, every crease in the leather tells a silent story about the path we have traversed, our struggles, our triumphs, the places we have been, and the choices we have made along the way. Buddhism teaches us that our path in life is not a straight, linear line, rather, it is a rich tapestry woven from interconnected moments and decisions, each step leading us to where we stand now. And much like our own life's journey, The shoes we wear serve as a tangible reflection of that path. They carry the subtle imprints of our experiences, our steps, and the energies we have encountered on our way. But what happens when we step into someone else's shoes, quite literally? Imagine this: you discover a beautiful pair of shoes at a second-hand shop, or perhaps a kind friend offers you a pair they no longer need. At first glance, you might not think twice about putting them on. After all, shoes are meant to protect our feet, aren't they? But on a deeper level, shoes symbolize movement, progress, and the direction we are taking in our lives. When we wear someone else's shoes, we may unknowingly be taking on their energy, their struggles, and even their emotional burdens. There is an ancient Buddhist parable about a traveler who embarked on a long and arduous journey. Along his path, he stopped at a humble inn where he met a wise elder who had traveled far and wide. The elder, noticing the traveler's worn and weary shoes, offered him a new pair that had been left behind by a previous guest. The traveler, filled with gratitude for this unexpected kindness, put them on without hesitation. However, as he continued his walk, he began to feel a strange heaviness in his heart, a deep sense of weariness that he couldn't quite understand. The shoes, although physically comfortable, seemed to carry an unseen weight. He soon realized that the lingering energy of the person who had left them behind was subtly affecting his own path. The shoes, though new to him, had absorbed the burdens of the previous owner, and he was now unknowingly carrying that weight with each step. This parable beautifully illustrates a profound truth: shoes are not simply objects to shield our feet, they are also subtle carriers of energy. Every pair we wear, especially second-hand shoes, can carry the energetic imprints of the person who wore them before us. The emotional and spiritual energy they have absorbed can subtly influence our own journey. If the previous owner experienced hardship, stress, or unresolved emotional struggles, that energy may linger in the shoes and, by extension, subtly affect the person who wears them now. This is not to say that second-hand shoes are inherently negative or that we should avoid them entirely. Instead, it's about cultivating mindfulness regarding the energy we take on when we wear them. The practice of mindfulness, a central teaching in Buddhism, gently encourages us to be aware of the world around us and the energies we interact with. By being conscious of the items we wear and how they might subtly affect us, we take ownership of our path and the energy we carry with us. To protect your own energy and ensure that your journey remains clear of unwanted burdens, it's important to cleanse any second-hand shoes before wearing them. This cleansing is not just a physical act, but a spiritual one. You can begin by walking barefoot on fresh grass or earth, grounding yourself and releasing any negative energy that may have accumulated. The earth itself is a natural purifier, and walking upon it can help you reconnect with your own inherent energy and release anything that no longer serves you. Another simple yet powerful ritual is gently sprinkling the shoes with salt. Salt has been revered for centuries in many cultures and spiritual practices as a potent tool for purification. It absorbs negative energy, leaving the space or object it touches feeling cleaner and more positive. By using salt, you are creating a subtle energetic buffer between yourself and any energy that might be lingering in the shoes. Additionally, setting a strong, clear intention can work wonders. Before putting on second-hand shoes, take a quiet moment to pause and focus on your deepest intentions. Breathe deeply and visualize yourself walking forward, unburdened by the past. Set the clear intention that these shoes will support you on your journey, free from any negative or stagnant energy. This simple act of setting intention resonates deeply with the Buddhist principle of right intention, being mindful of what we bring into our lives and how we use it to support our own growth and well-being. There is an ancient saying in Buddhism: the path is made by walking. This profound wisdom means that life is not about passively waiting for opportunities to come to us, but rather about actively stepping forward with awareness and purpose. Shoes, in this context, are not just about moving from one place to another, they represent the very steps we take towards realizing our greater purpose in this life. By cleansing and purifying the energy of the shoes we wear, we ensure that every step we take is aligned with our highest potential, free from the burdens of others. When we wear someone else's shoes without taking the time to cleanse them, we may unknowingly take on their burdens, their fears, or their stagnation. These subtle energies can slow us down, cloud our judgment, and even gently influence the direction of our lives. But by performing these simple rituals of cleansing and setting intentions, we can reclaim our own inner power, take ownership of our journey, and keep our path clear of unwanted baggage. Life, much like the journey of a traveler, is full of unexpected twists and turns, and it is ultimately up to us to consciously choose the path we walk. Every step matters, so when you put on your shoes today, whether they are brand new or gently used, remember the subtle energy they carry. Cleanse them, set your intention, and step forward with clarity, purpose, and an open heart. Your journey is uniquely yours, and each step you take is a reflection of the energy you bring with you. Make sure it is the kind of energy that will gracefully lead you to where you truly wish to go. Chapter 5: Cursed Money, the subtle trap that can block true wealth. Have you ever received money that just didn't feel quite right? Perhaps it was a gift from a friend or an unexpectedly large tip, and initially, you felt grateful. But shortly afterward, you found yourself unexpectedly entangled in financial difficulties. Perhaps an unplanned expense arose, or sudden debts seemed to materialize out of thin air. If this has ever happened to you, you might have wondered if it was simply a strange coincidence. The truth is, in many spiritual traditions, including our Buddhist understanding, it is believed that money subtly carries the energy of its previous owner. And if that individual was experiencing negative energy, stress, or harbored ill intentions, that energy can be transferred to the money, and by extension, to you. This phenomenon is not merely superstition, it is deeply rooted in the understanding that everything in existence has an energetic frequency, including money itself. In Buddhism, we recognize that everything in the world is interconnected, and the principle of karma gently teaches us that actions, words, and even objects can subtly hold on to the energy of the past. Money is no different. Consider the times when you have received a sum of money from someone who might have been going through a particularly difficult period or was filled with negative emotions. That energy does not simply vanish, it can subtly attach itself to the money, and you, as the receiver, might unknowingly inherit those energies. The enlightened Buddha once wisely said, "The mind is everything. What you think, you become." This profound wisdom extends far beyond our thoughts, it subtly touches everything we encounter in our lives. If money is tainted by negativity, it can subtly block the flow of prosperity and abundance in our lives. This is why, in Buddhist practice, it is essential to be mindful not just of our actions, but also of the subtle energy around us, especially when it comes to material things like money. To gently protect yourself from any potentially negative energy that may be attached to money, take a moment to cleanse any money you receive before spending it. It is a simple yet remarkably powerful practice. Gently hold the cash in your hands and visualize it surrounded by a radiant, positive energy. See it glowing with abundance and prosperity. Affirm, either silently or aloud, that this money will bring only goodness and blessings into your life. In doing so, you gently sever any potentially negative ties to the past owner's energy and invite positive, abundant energy into your own financial space. This small ritual, deeply rooted in mindfulness, helps ensure that money serves you in a positive way, rather than working against you. Chapter 6: Why you should never accept or borrow a mirror. Mirrors are far more than just reflective surfaces. We use them daily to check our appearance, but in many cultures, mirrors are also considered to be portals to other dimensions. They are believed to reflect not only what is directly in front of them, but also the subtle energy of those who have gazed into them over time. According to ancient wisdom traditions, the energy subtly left behind in a mirror can linger, gently influencing the environment and the person who uses it. If you accept or borrow a mirror from someone else, you may be unknowingly inviting their energy into your personal space, whether that energy is positive or negative. In Buddhist philosophy, the profound concept of reflection extends far beyond the physical realm. The simple act of seeing ourselves in a mirror is symbolic of how we reflect upon our own lives, but mirrors can also subtly reflect the energies of the past. And when we take possession of someone else's mirror, we may unknowingly be inviting their unresolved emotions, their struggles, or even negative patterns into our own lives. I recall a story from a cherished Buddhist teaching that beautifully illustrates this point. A young monk, newly arrived at the monastery, was given an old mirror by one of the senior monks. The senior monk had used it for many years, and though it appeared to be a simple object, it held the subtle weight of countless moments within the monastery, both joyful and challenging. As the young monk began to use the mirror, he quickly noticed unsettling emotions arising within him, feelings of confusion, doubt, and a deep sense of unrest. Seeking wise counsel from the abbot, he was gently explained that the mirror had subtly absorbed the energetic imprints of its previous owner. The mirror, like a window into the very soul, had reflected not just the physical world, but also the complex emotions and struggles of the person who had used it before him. Before using a borrowed or accepted mirror, take a quiet moment to spiritually cleanse it. Gently smudge it with sage or place it under the soft glow of the moonlight, allowing these natural forces to purify it. Set the clear intention that only your own pure energy is reflected back to you. This simple act ensures that your personal space remains energetically clear, free from the unwanted energies of others, and that you maintain your inner peace and clarity. Chapter 7: Why you should never collect salt from another person. Salt is much more than just a common cooking ingredient. It holds immense spiritual significance across many cultures, including within Buddhism, where it is deeply believed to purify, protect, and preserve. In ancient times, salt was not only used to preserve food but also to protect people from negative energies and influences. Salt is considered a natural purifier, a substance that absorbs negative energy and gently prevents it from spreading. But what happens when you accept salt from someone else? Salt, much like other items we use in our daily lives, can subtly absorb the energy of the person who possesses it. If you accept salt from someone who is currently going through emotional struggles, confusion, or even financial hardship, you might unknowingly take on their subtle energetic burdens. The salt could potentially carry their unresolved difficulties, and when you use it in your own space, those burdens may subtly manifest in your own life. To gently protect your own energy, always maintain your own personal supply of salt, one that is free from the energetic influences of others. Think of it as your own subtle spiritual armor. This personal salt represents your own positive energy and clear intentions, ensuring that you remain grounded and protected from any external negativity. Whether it is for spiritual purification practices or simply to protect your own inner peace, maintaining your own personal supply of salt helps you safeguard your clarity and overall well-being. Chapter 8: Wigs and Hair Extensions, Hidden Spiritual Dangers. Hair is not merely a physical characteristic, it is a vessel of personal energy. Every strand subtly carries with it the emotional and spiritual imprints of the person to whom it once belonged. When you wear wigs or hair extensions that belong to someone else, you are unknowingly tapping into their energy field. Whether their life experiences were positive or challenging, the subtle energy from that person's life is intricately woven into each strand of their hair. Buddhist teachings gently emphasize the profound interconnectedness of all beings, and because of this interconnectedness, the subtle energies we exchange with others, whether consciously or unconsciously, can gently influence us. If you choose to wear someone else's hair, you may unknowingly absorb their struggles, their anxieties, or even misfortune they may have experienced. One poignant story I remember from Buddhist folklore tells of a woman who chose to wear a beautiful wig that had previously belonged to someone who had lived through immense hardship and suffering. She soon noticed her own life becoming unexpectedly filled with difficulties, emotional turmoil, financial problems, and struggles in her relationships. After seeking spiritual guidance, she was gently told that the wig was subtly carrying the unresolved energy of its previous owner. She performed a cleansing ritual, and gradually, her life began to return to a state of balance and harmony. If you choose to wear wigs or hair extensions, it is crucial to cleanse them spiritually before wearing them. Gently smudging them with sage or soaking them in salt water can help clear any lingering negative energy. By purifying these items, you can gently protect your own energy field and maintain your spiritual clarity. Chapter 9: Why Secondhand Jewelry and Accessories Can Hold Past Energies. Jewelry often holds great sentimental value and can subtly carry emotional energy from its past owners. Think about a ring that has been passed down through generations within a family, perhaps a ring that was worn by someone who experienced significant financial struggles, or a necklace that was once worn during a time of deep heartbreak. The subtle energy of those experiences can gently attach itself to the jewelry and, unknowingly, transfer to you when you wear it. Before choosing to wear second-hand jewelry, it is wise to cleanse it spiritually. Use gentle rituals such as smudging or placing the item under the soft glow of moonlight to clear any unwanted energy. This simple act of purification helps ensure that the jewelry you wear serves you in a positive way, rather than subtly carrying the emotional baggage of someone else's past. Chapter 10: Why handkerchiefs and personal cloth items should be handled with care. Handkerchiefs are often seen as just practical, everyday items, but they hold a deeper significance than we often realize. They absorb far more than just physical dirt, they also subtly soak up emotional and spiritual energy. Think about the times you have used a handkerchief, perhaps when you were feeling unwell, stressed, or experiencing grief. These personal items subtly absorb the emotions deeply tied to those moments. If you accept or share a handkerchief with another person, you may unknowingly take on the subtle burdens of the person who used it before you. Be mindful of sharing or receiving personal cloth items, and gently consider the emotional or spiritual weight they may subtly carry. Before using them, it is important to cleanse them spiritually to ensure they do not carry the emotional residue of past struggles. The objects we consciously surround ourselves with subtly carry energy, and the things we choose to accept into our lives can gently influence our spiritual path. Whether it is a thoughtful gift, a seemingly harmless second-hand item, each piece subtly carries an energy that can impact our lives. By cultivating mindfulness and performing simple cleansing rituals, we can gently protect our personal space and our energy, ensuring that we consciously attract positive influences into our lives. Now I'm going to tell you the gist. If you found today's insights valuable and illuminating, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe for more wisdom on your journey. Your breakthrough begins today. Embrace it with clarity, peace, and profound wisdom.